Mwanee Sparta was born as Michael Mwanee. He was born and raised in Kayole B3 area. He attended Imara Primary School and later joined Joy Valley for his secondary education, but dropped out at some point along the journey. He started out as a petty criminal, snatching handbags and phones from unsuspecting victims. His major break into the life of crime, however, came when they helped a local politician to protect grabbed land. They were paid handsomely, and he used the earnings to acquire a firearm and ammunition. After the death of Thomas Ogagula in 2014, Mwanee rose to prominence as the new leader of the Gaza gang. But before he could recruit young men in his crew, Mwanee first needed to form a Gaza cabinet. First to be appointed was Teddy Kasanga. Teddy was a street bully and Mwanee's childhood best friend, who later became second in rank in the gang. Together with Teddy, Mwanee appointed 3 other members to his cabinet. As a sign of initiation, loyalty and oathing, Mwanee personally shaved their heads with a razor blade to usher them in. After the medieval shaving, each member was offered a blunt to smoke his way into the Gaza gang life and puff away the fear of common men, since the task ahead was not for the faint-hearted. Mwanee did all this as he waited for his friend Kolo to be freed from the industrial area prison. Kolo was a real general whose spot in the gang was secured. Moreover, Mwanee also needed a female in his ranks, and that is where he met his wife Claire Vibes, who was by then a teenager. The two quickly fell in love, and after a short period of romance, they became parents as they were blessed with a baby boy. The newborn inspired Mwanee to go even harder. He had to provide for his small family. Being the boss's wife, Claire Vibes assumed the role of the Queen of Gaza. She led the female front of the Gaza gang, together with her friend Masha Minaj. Together, they would entice unsuspecting victims in clubs, only for them to get robbed later by Mwanee and his crew. Later in 2016, Mwanee's friend Kolo was released from the industrial area prison on bond, and the two quickly reunited, and the reign of terror continued in its full capacity. They continued to hit M-Pesa shops and businesses around Eastlands. They did this with no fear, since after a successful hit at an M-Pesa shop in Kayole, Mwanee bought his first assault rifle. With the new acquired assault rifle, they graduated to home invasions. In the wee hours of Saturday, 14th February 2015, Mwanee and his gang invaded the home of former Moyale MP Philip Godana in Syokimau. They stole his home appliances before shooting him dead in front of his family. The thrill of the gun excited Mwanee. He saw how successful they became with it, and it is then he plotted to acquire more guns for his gang. However, Mwanee was not going to buy them. He was going to steal them from police officers. Their first victim was the Assistant Superintendent of the Administration Police, Eston Mutini Ndwega. Mwanee and his gang ambushed him in the wee hours of 30th November 2016 while in his car as he headed home in Mihango area. They shot him severely in the chest, but unfortunately for them, he had not carried his weapon, so they had nothing to rob. After this, the gang retreated to their hideout location so that things would cool down. Eston was the first police officer to kill, and Mwanee feared that his cover was blown, but unfortunately, they were still labeled as unknown assailants. Meanwhile, as they hid and smoked their days away, Mwanee suspected that his friend Kolo was having an affair with his wife Claire Vibes. Due to their affection, the two were showing each other on social media. To Mwanee, this was unacceptable. Mwanee called Kolo and set up a meeting at a quarry in Kayole. Oblivious of what awaited him, Kolo met the boss. There, Mwanee confronted his friend Kolo about the alleged affair with his wife Claire, and when Kolo denied, Mwanee shot him and proceeded to throw him into the quarry. This move was believed to be an example to gang members who would not be loyal to Mwanee's rule. After killing his friend, Mwanee resorted back to his original plan. The gang needed more guns, and so they needed to rob a cop. This is after realizing the police still didn't know who he was, and so a plan was hatched. On one Friday night, after dropping TVET Principal Secretary Margaret Mwakima at a Nairobi home, Sergeant Asbel Kiplimo drove off his assigned Prado to his Umoja home. When he arrived at his house, he began offloading foodstuffs he had bought for his family while waiting for them to pick them up. There and then, Mwanee pulled up to him in a motorbike and shot him twice in the head. They took his gun, shot him with it and made away with it. With a new gun, they felt untouchable. They went into hiding again, but Mwanee could not keep his mouth shut. He bragged about it to a female friend who sold him out to a police informer. Now, with his cover blown, he resorted to weed out the snitch in his crew. Just like Kolo, Mwanee killed his friend Baba Aleko, whom he suspected to be the police informer, since it was his girlfriend Mwanee had bragged out killing Sergeant Asbel Kiplimo too. After being snitched out, Mwanee vowed to go full throttle. At around 11 p.m. on March 20, 2017, they ambushed Officer Japheth Mwiti and his friend Catherine Werimo as they waited to enter the officer's car, which was parked outside Naivas Supermarket, Kayole. Officer Japheth Mwiti was shot 5 times in the stomach and twice in the head. He died instantly, and they stole his 9mm caliber pistol, which was loaded with 15 rounds of ammunition. His friend Catherine was shot 3 times but survived and was rushed to hospital. It was this ambush that saw Mwanee and his crew as marked men by the police. The then Nairobi boss Japheth Koome declared war on the Gaza gang. This time, they were sure it was Mwanee and were on his case. Sometimes in April 2017, the police received intelligence about Mwanee and his crew's hideout in Kayole. The police stormed the place ready to flush out the thugs. Sadly, a gunfight ensued, which ended in the death of police officer Boniface Okech, who was shot by Mwanee and his gun stolen. Mwanee managed to elude authorities that day, and the remaining cops warned him on Facebook, while also notifying him that one of his fellow gang members had been shot and killed by officers. In the Kayole hideouts, police recovered guns, 12 bullets, and handcuffs, all stolen from slain officers. However, Mwanee would recover his confiscated items by yet killing another policeman by the name Kennedy Nkune. They stole his Seska pistol with 12 rounds of ammunition and went into hiding. Officer Nkune's killing provoked the police even more. They sought to put an end to Mwanee and intensified surveillance on him. On 12 May 2017, Mwanee's wife Claire Devibes met her death while stealing at an M-Pesa shop. She was left behind by Mwanee as they escaped, and after a shootout, she was shot dead. She died at the age of 18. After Mwanee's narrow escape from his Kayole hideout, Mwanee and some of his crew members had by this time relocated to Roy. Mwanee could only mourn the death of his wife on social media, since he was a man living on borrowed time. He could also not attend her burial due to intense police surveillance. At Claire's burial, only family members and cops showed up, waiting to see if the dreaded gangsters would show up. After failing to trace Mwanee, police turned out to Masha Minaj, the second in rank after Claire Devibes, and was believed to be armed and in constant talks with Mwanee. Minaj would later be tracked at her house in Jacaranda, where she was found in the company of another thug, probably a lover. They were asked to surrender, and they refused. It was then that the officers decided to spray them with bullets, and Minaj was killed. The death of the 2 baddest girls in the gang troubled Mwanee. Now, there was no going back. He sought to avenge them and show the police who was boss. On the 18th of August 2017, the gangsters attacked 2 police officers in Githunguri, Kiambu County, killed them, and made away with the AK-47 rifle and a pistol. Unfazed by their action, Mwanee and his goons posted themselves with the guns. This, however, was their undoing. The police intensified their search, and informers traced them to the Wetaidia area. The sleuths planned and were ready to flush them out. It was a silent mission for the officers involved, as they were aware Mwanee had informers right inside the force. When the officers arrived, a 2-hour-long gun drama ensued. The crew was not going down easily. The crew ran out towards the swamp of Wetaidia and scattered. However, the officers were mainly interested in 2 leaders who hid in the area shooting back. First to be shot by officers was Willie. This was after he shot an innocent civilian who tried to stop him from entering a compound. Mwanee dashed out into the swamp and managed to evade the police for about an hour. He was gunned down by determined officers at a riverbank as he tried to escape. Mwanee Sparta died at the age of 23. His buddy Teddy was lucky to escape.